Sincerely, I hate to start out this way, but honestly, I am mad as hell and just about on the verge of not wanting or willing to take it anymore. But what other choice do I have? I guess the only real choice I have is platforms such as this, where I can vent, voice my opinion, and hopefully be heard. So thank you for tuning in, lending an ear, and taking a listen. I read just the other day in the news that some North Carolinians are now apparently up in arms and unnerved because I guess a Republican conservative is vying to secure the governmental seat. Really? Does the color red scare them that much? If you ask me, it's the color blue that should elicit fear, horror, and terror, as well as an overall and general feeling of disgust, nausea, and malaise. Blue states, and I'm from one of them originally, many of which, as I recall, stood tall and proud in their majesty and grandeur, now have plenty of reasons to feel blue. These once majestic cosmopolitan metropolises, because of their current, inept, uncaring, self-serving leaders and flagrantly failing leadership, have been run into the ground and have witnessed the life support plug pulled right from under them. Even some once serene suburban sanctuaries, many with an enviable reputation that often preceded them, are now vast wastelands, or on the fast track to becoming vast wastelands. They are currently defined by unsightly architecture, subpar housing, including unnecessary and unwanted apartments under the guise of affordable housing, which is also unwanted, especially in the suburbs. Streets riddled with potholes, litter, and filth. And as of late, an overwhelming abundance of street vendors hawking their wares on the side of the road, transforming small-town Americana into a haggler's bazaar intrinsic to third world nations. Are we the people to presume that these immigrants are here for haven? Or should we more accurately presume, or more accurately state, that these people are being ushered here under the cloak of night to try to destroy the better life we the people once knew, enjoyed, had, and were proud of? Personally, I have no problem per se with immigrants or immigration. My mother is an immigrant. She came to the United States legally over 50 years ago. My husband, who I pay tens of thousands of dollars for, also entered the United States legally 20 years ago, and from not too far away, just up north. And myself, my mother, and my son are all immigrants to the Great White North, to, again, the tune of tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, my son, who emigrated when he was only 4 years old 6 years ago, is still not entirely approved, and his case, believe it or not, is still open. Our cities have sadly become slums, and our neighborhoods and communities are being lived. Most people, decent people anyway, reside there in fear. The fear of stepping out and enjoying what their communities have to offer. Why? Because nothing and nowhere seems to be safe anymore. The suburbs used to offer an escape, but are now not much better these days. And if you ask me, it's high time for places with prominence to secede from the mainframe of their state and declare their overdue independence, an independence they are paying for exorbitantly with astronomically and unwarranted high taxes. In the same vein, I would implore the court jesters at large running these blue states to stop playing the people as proverbial fools, raising our taxes under the guise that our property values have increased when all around us our world crumbles and the quality of our life continues to decrease. As I said, our once magnificent cities are all in desperate need of hospice care, and all because of our failed blue leadership. Even our suburbs, as noted previously, are inundated now with vagrants, decaying infrastructure, substandard housing, and overall ugliness. Yet, the taxes, especially in the suburbs, continue to escalate astronomically, and our services and quality of life fail to be commensurate. People are fleeing, many in droves, not because they don't love where they live, not because they don't want to be where they consider home, but because home is becoming unaffordable. Akin, let's say, to paying $75 for a McDonald's hamburger. No one would necessarily argue about paying $75 for a tomahawk steak or filet mignon with all the trimmings. But we would complain and do complain and are complaining and will continue to complain for paying $75 for chicken nuggets and fries. So many other places, including other states and countries, offer better housing. Housing not made of particle board and ugly vinyl siding, but rather of real brick and stucco, with bedrooms that are not the size of broom closets, and each offering their own bathroom ensuite. And these homes all for under $500,000. And property taxes for several acres of land are often under $10,000, something unheard of in the so-called hotspots, such as New York, California, Massachusetts, and the like. Citizens are not only being robbed blind, but raped and pillaged, and they are being told that they should like it because of the benefits of who is doing the raping, robbing, and pillaging, and that they should consider themselves, believe it or not, blessed to be able to live in an area that is run by snake oil salesmen and snake oil saleswomen who are pandering garbage for gold. Yet, as much as I blame the politicians and all the political pawns and their puppeteers, I equally place blame on the people. We, the people. Have we become so pathetically complacent that we are willing to play the part of the bleating sheep as we sit idly by and watch and allow those in charge to bleed us to death? Or do we simply no longer know any better and actually believe that the garbage is gold? Either way, it is depressing, devastating, disgusting, and disheartening on so many levels and on so many counts. And sadly, this is the beginning of the end. In my opinion, the beginning of the end of the glory days of the suburbs, the cosmopolitan centers of America and of the American dream in general. It's high time, as far as I'm concerned, that we remove the blue from the red, white, and blue.